Right, Hobart is sitting at 19 degrees right now, while Darwin-S only nudging 23. Yeah, you heard that right. Is your city about to cop a massive temperature swing that'll catch everyone off guard? Because across the eastern seaboard, we've got severe weather warnings active for New South Wales, Queensland and Victoria, affecting over 12 million Australians. I am breaking down exactly when this hits your area, which towns are copping the worst of it, and why the models are showing something pretty unusual developing over the weekend. Chuck your location in the comments right now. I'll be reading through them tonight and covering your specific town in tomorrow ES update with personalised timing. Let me give you the headlines for the capitals. Sydney, you are looking at 31 degrees today, jumping to 34 tomorrow. Then Saturday, we're talking 26 with storms rolling through. Melbourne, 28 today, 32 tomorrow, dropping back to 23 on the weekend when that cold front slams through. Brisbane, currently 33, staying around 34 through Friday, then Sunday could see some serious rainfall. Perth, you've got 37 today, 40 tomorrow, then easing back to 33 by Sunday. Adelaide, 31 right now, peaking at 36 Friday, then a sharp drop to 24 Saturday. Hobart, as I mentioned, 19 today, climbing to 26 Thursday, which is actually warmer than Darwin at 23, then back to 18 Saturday. Darwin, steady at 32 through the week. Typical build-up humidity making it feel closer to 40. Now, here is the thing. We've got a tropical low developing in the Coral Sea, and Access is showing it intensifying faster than the European model reckons. This 100-kilometre difference in tracking changes everything for coastal Queensland from Cairns down to the Sunshine Coast. The Bureau-S got a tropical cyclone watch active, and we'll know a lot more in the next 24 hours when the latest model runs come through. But first, let's get into what is happening right across the country, because there is some pretty significant weather on the way. Starting up north, Cairns is sitting at 33 degrees with 85% humidity. That feels like temperature is nudging 42. Townsville, similar story, 34 degrees, building cloud, sea breeze, not doing much today. For you lot on the Sunshine Coast and Gold Coast, you both at 32, but tomorrow afternoon is when things get interesting. Models are showing storm development around 3 to 4 p.m, heaviest rainfall overnight Friday into Saturday morning. Brisbane City, same timing, but you could cop 50 to 80 millimetres if these storms fire up properly. Toowoomba, you are at 29 today, storms possibly Friday evening, moving through overnight. Moving down into New South Wales. Newcastle, 30 degrees, building humidity through today and tomorrow. Coffs Harbour, 29, staying mostly fine until the weekend. Sydney S western suburbs, places like Penrith and Campbelltown, you are looking at 34 tomorrow, potentially hitting 36 before that southerly buster arrives Saturday arvo around 5 p.m. Wollongong, bit cooler at 28, but that coastal influence means you'll cop the southerly change earlier, probably Saturday lunchtime. Inland, Dubbo sitting at 33, Wagga Wagga 31, both staying dry through the next few days, with temperatures easing into the high 20s by Sunday. Let me clarify something about this southerly change because the timing matters. Sydney CBD, you were looking at Saturday late afternoon, somewhere between 4 and 6 p.m, but coastal areas south of Sydney, you will see it earlier. Northern beaches, probably 7 to 8 p.m. This thing is moving at about 40 kilometres per hour once it crosses the coast. So there's your rough guide for timing. Victoria-S got a bit of a mixed bag. Melbourne, as I mentioned, 32 tomorrow, but Geelong will be a touch cooler at 29. Ballarat, 26 tomorrow. First spots to see that cold front Saturday morning. Bendigo and Shepparton, both around 31 tomorrow, then dropping to 22 Saturday. Down on the coast, places like Warrnambool and Portland are only hitting 24 tomorrow, already feeling that Southern Ocean influence. South Australia, Adelaide at 36 Friday is going to be uncomfortable. Mount Gambier on the border, 28 tomorrow, getting that southerly flow earlier. Whyalla and Port Augusta, both nudging 38 Friday before things cool down. Port Lincoln, you are looking at 34, but that sea breeze should keep you a few degrees cooler than inland areas. Hang on, I should mention the fire danger here because this is serious. Total fire ban in place for parts of South Australia, Victoria and New South Wales on Friday. We are talking extreme fire danger ratings across multiple districts. If you're in a bushfire-prone area, make sure you've got your plan sorted. Temperatures in the mid to high 30s, low humidity and northerly winds at 40 to 50 ks an hour. This combination is dangerous. Western Australia, Perth, that 40 degrees tomorrow is no joke. Bunbury down south, you are looking at 36. Up north, Geraldton hitting 39, Carnarvon 41. The Pilbara and Kimberley regions, Broome at 37, but humidity at 70%, making it feel closer to 45. Kalgoorlie inland, 42 tomorrow, dropping to 36 Sunday when a weak trough moves through. That Fremantle Dr. Sea breeze in Perth should kick in around 2 p.m. Friday, but at 1T drop temperatures much, maybe down to 37 by evening. Tasmania Hobart S forecast is actually pretty interesting. You are going from 19 today to 26 Thursday, which is warmer than you've been in weeks. Launceston, similar pattern, 22 today, 28 Thursday. Then both of you dropping back to the high teens Saturday when that Southern Ocean cold front arrives. Devonport on the north coast, 23 Thursday, first to see the change Friday evening. Northern Territory, Darwin, you are in typical build-up conditions. 32 degrees, humidity around 75%, afternoon storms possible, but nothing organised yet. That monsoonal trough is still sitting well to the north. Catherine, 39 today, 38 tomorrow, staying hot and dry. Alice Springs in the centre, 41 today, 43 tomorrow, then easing back to 37 by the weekend. Classic Central Australian heat. Canberra deserves a mention. 29 today, 33 tomorrow, then that cold front drops you to 21 Saturday. Pretty sharp change for the national capital. Now, about that tropical low in the Coral Sea. Let me get into the details because this is where the models disagree. Access R is showing development into a Category 1 cyclone by Saturday morning, tracking roughly southwest toward the coast between Townsville and Mackay. The European model reckons it stays weaker, more of a tropical low, tracking further south toward the Capricornia coast. GFS is somewhere in between. This uncertainty means coastal Queensland from Cairns to Fraser Island needs to be watching updates closely. If you are in Mackay, Rockhampton, Gladstone, Bundaberg, right now you are looking at possible impacts from Sunday onwards. Could be heavy rainfall, could be strong winds, could be both. We'll have much better clarity tomorrow morning after the model runs process. Check back tomorrow because this could develop quickly. There's one detail that got me concerned about this system. The sea surface temperatures in the Coral Sea are sitting at 29 to 30 degrees, which is plenty warm enough for rapid intensification. Combined with low wind shear, conditions are favourable. The Bureau keeping a close eye on this and they'll likely have more detailed warnings out by tomorrow evening. For regional Queensland and northern New South Wales, Mount Carbine inland from Cairns, you are sitting at 30 degrees with high humidity. If this low tracks the southern path, you will see heavy rain Sunday into Monday. Glen Innes in northern New South Wales, I know you've been dealing with humidity and dry conditions. You are not in line for the tropical moisture, but your rain chance comes Saturday night with that cold front, maybe 10 to 15 millimetres. Let me talk about the rainfall totals we potentially looking at. Southeast Queensland, if this develops properly, coastal areas could see 150 to 250 millimetres over the weekend. Inland areas 50 to 100. Northern New South Wales, that cold front rain is looking more modest, 20 to 40 millimetres for most areas. Victoria, similar numbers, 20 to 50 for the south and east. South Australia, mostly dry apart from a few showers in the southeast, maybe 10 millimetres. Actually, I should be more specific about those Queensland totals because they highly dependent on the track. If access is right and the low moves southwest toward Mackay, then places like Proserpine, Airlie Beach, the Whitsundays, you are looking at the heavier falls. If the European Model S track is correct and it stays further offshore, coastal areas from Bundaberg to Fraser Island cop it more. Either way, heavy rain is coming somewhere along that coast. Offshore conditions need mentioning. Surfers, fishers, anyone heading out on the water this weekend. There is a hazardous surf warning likely for the entire Queensland coast and northern New South Wales by Friday. We re-talking 3 to 4 metre swells, possibly bigger if that low intensifies. Strong rips, dangerous conditions. Same deal for southern New South Wales and eastern Victoria. With that southerly change, winds could hit 50 to 60 k's an hour offshore. Right, let me give you the extended outlook because some of you are planning next week. Models are showing the pattern settling down early next week. That tropical system, regardless of what it does, should be well clear of the coast by Tuesday. The cold front, that S hitting the southeast, it's bringing a high pressure ridge behind it. Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide, you are all looking at fine conditions Monday through Wednesday with temperatures in the low to mid-20s. Brisbane, you all clear out to fine weather by Tuesday. Temperatures back to around 30. Perth, you are staying hot, mid to high 30s right through next week. Now here, S, where it gets interesting for the longer range. There's another system developing in the Indian Ocean, and the European model is hinting at it crossing into the top end around next Friday or Saturday. Darwin, Catherine, this could be your first proper monsoon burst of the season. GFS isn't as convinced yet, showing it staying weaker. This is 10 days out though, so massive uncertainty. Let me loop back to those fire conditions on Friday because I can stress this enough. If you're in a high risk area, today is the day to prepare. Clear gutters, move flammable material away from houses, know your evacuation route. Check the RFS or CFA websites for your state. These extreme fire danger days are when fires start and spread rapidly. It is not just about temperature, it is the combination of heat, low humidity and wind. That northwesterly flow ahead of the change is the worst possible scenario. For coastal New South Wales, there is a compounding issue with this southerly change Saturday. High tide in Sydney Harbour is at 6:45 p.m. and if that southerly hits during the high tide with those big swells, we could see minor coastal erosion and wave action over seawalls. Coastal suburbs, keep an eye on that. Same for Newcastle, Wollongong, anywhere right on the coast. Victoria's cold front is bringing more than just cooler temperatures. There is a chance of small hail with any thunderstorms that develop Friday afternoon ahead of the change. Ballarat, Bendigo, Shepparton, if storms fire up, they could be severe. Bureau will have severe thunderstorm warnings if that looks likely. Wind gusts behind the front Saturday morning could hit 70 k's an hour across central and western Victoria. Queensland S situation is what everyone wants to know about. Cairns, Townsville, you're probably on the northern edge of any impacts from this tropical low. Your main concern is heavy rainfall if it tracks close. Mackay, Proserpine, this is your watch zone. Rockhampton, Gladstone, same deal. Bundaberg, Hervey Bay, Fraser Island, you all in the potential impact zone. Sunshine Coast, Gold Coast, Brisbane, you'll get the southern edge if it tracks that way. Mainly heavy rain Sunday into Monday. The uncertainty I keep mentioning, this is crucial. Tropical systems are notoriously difficult to predict more than 3 days out. That's why I keep saying check back tomorrow. By Thursday morning, we'll have much better model agreement. By Friday morning, the track should be locked in. If you are in coastal Queensland, you need to be checking updates at least twice a day this week. Western Australia, that heat through Perth and the southwest is building through Friday, but you've got nothing significant after that. Mostly stable high pressure conditions next week. Up in the Kimberley, Broome, Derby, you in typical build-up conditions. Afternoon storms, high humidity, not much change expected. The Pilbara, Port Hedland, Karratha, hot and dry, low to mid-40s through the next week. South Australia S weekend, Adelaide, that cold front Saturday drops you from 36 to 24 in the space of about 6 hours. That's a 12-degree drop. It'll feel dramatic. Wind shift from northwesterly to southwesterly, gusting to 50 k's an hour. Make sure outdoor furniture is secured Friday night. Regional areas, similar story. Mount Gambier sees the change first early Saturday morning. Whyalla, Port Augusta, Port Pirie, Saturday afternoon. Tasmania, that Thursday warm spell I mentioned, 26 in Hobart, 28 in Launceston. Make the most of it. Friday, you are back to cooler southwesterly winds. Saturday and Sunday, typical Tasmanian spring weather, high teens to low 20s, bit of drizzle possible, nothing major. I reckon the biggest story for the next few days is really three separate things. One, that extreme heat and fire danger Friday across the southeast. Two, the tropical low development off Queensland. Three, the sharp temperature drops behind Saturday's cold front. Each one of these affects different parts of the country, which shows you how diverse Australian weather can be. Darwin S sitting in humid build-up conditions while Hobart S getting a cold southern ocean front, all happening at the same time. If there's one thing to remember from this forecast, it is that Friday requires preparation. If you are in a high fire risk area, prepare Thursday. If you are in coastal Queensland, stay updated on that tropical low. If you are in the southeast capitals, prepare for heat Friday, dramatic change Saturday. Let me give you the weekend detail for capitals. Sydney, Saturday S southerly arrives late afternoon. Temperature drops from 34 to 26 in about 2 hours. Rain possible, 10 to 20 millimetres, clearing Sunday to 23 and partly cloudy. Melbourne, Saturday S front comes through morning, dropping you from 32 to 23 by lunch. Possible morning showers, Sunday fine and 21. Brisbane staying warm Saturday at 33. Sunday is when rain develops if that low track's closed, potentially heavy. Monday clearing. Perth, Friday's 40 degrees is your peak. Saturday 33 and fine. Sunday 32 and fine. Adelaide, Friday 36. Saturday 24 with that dramatic change. Sunday 22 and fine. Hobart, Thursday 26, Friday 20, Saturday 18 with that cold front, Sunday 19 and partly cloudy. Darwin steady at 32 through the weekend, typical afternoon storm chances. Canberra, Friday 33, Saturday 21 with possible showers, Sunday 19 and clearing. This tropical low situation, we could see rapid development over the next 48 hours. The Bureau will be issuing tropical cyclone advice if it looks like forming into a Category 1 system. Coastal communities from Cairns to Fraser Island should have their cyclone plans ready to activate. That means securing loose items, checking emergency supplies, knowing your evacuation routes. Even if it stays as a tropical low, heavy rainfall can cause flash flooding, especially in areas that have been dry. Right, I know I've covered a lot of ground, but there's just so much happening across the country right now. The contrast between what is happening in different regions is pretty remarkable. We've got potential tropical development in the north, extreme heat and fire danger in the southeast, cold fronts coming from the south, high pressure dominating the west. It's a really dynamic setup. Tomorrow S update will have refined timing for that tropical low, updated fire danger information and specific suburb level forecasts for the capitals once tonight S model runs are in. I'll also cover next week in more detail because there are some hints of another system developing midweek. Chuck your location in the comments. Doesn't matter if you in a capital or a small regional town. I'll cover it tomorrow. I genuinely want to help you lot stay ahead of the weather, especially with this tropical system developing. Tomorrow S forecast will be a lot more specific once we see how this low develops overnight. I appreciate you watching truly. Weather like this, it changes rapidly, so checking back daily makes a big difference to staying informed. Tomorrow S update will be out at the usual time, probably around 7 a.m. Eastern, and we'll have much better clarity on everything IV discussed today. Stay safe, especially Friday if you're in those high fire risk areas. Keep an eye on the Bureau S warnings and seriously drop your location below. I'll make sure to cover it tomorrow with specific timing and impacts.